Somebody must have kicked out the plug from the outlet or something like that. Hey, welcome to DragonCon 2014 once again. This is, oh my God, this is my 5th panel today. Bourbon. All right. Stupid question, how many people are here at DragonCon for the very, very first time? I'm going to ask you guys this question again tomorrow during my biggest panel. Tomorrow is a James Gunn panel, so hopefully you guys will show up for that. We're going to kick ass in that panel, so come on out and take a look at that. My name is Mark Lee. I'm one of the moderators for DragonCon. I've been doing this for a while, as well as other conventions around the world, actually. But you are here for a very, very specific reason. It's really interesting. Out of the number of years that this series have been off the air, there is still a massive amount of fandom, which isn't unusual if you want to like keep it up with Star Trek or things like that nature. There are fans who stay in existence, who remain loyal forever, and for that, I'd like to thank each and every one of you guys for showing up. Let's get this thing rolling. You guys excited to see these? Holy shit. Okay, stand up. Again, you know there are medical advances. I mean, there are advances in medical, you know, there are head doctors, things of that. I mean, dude, at least you gotta shave your damn chest. All right, all right. I'll show you a real one so you can get a good example. Without any further ado, this is Visit to the Fleet. This is a Battlestar Galactica panel, and we're gonna bring our lovely guests out here without any further ado. I'm gonna bring them out in this order. Her portrayal of Ellen Tigh, we all know and love her. Let's give a nice DragonCon welcome to Kate Vernon! Her portrayal at 6 was absolutely stunning. Nice round of applause for the lovely Tricia Helfer. Do me a favor, please stand and salute. Okay, sit down. All right. Colonel Saul Tigh himself, Michael Hogan! From the original, the series that started it all, that began it all. We know him then as Apollo, but here we know him as Tom Zarek, Mr. Richard Hatch. Okay, where are our microphone people? Okay, if you have any question you'd like to ask any of our fantastic guests up here on the stage, do me a favor. These microphone folks, fantastic, wonderful people, are holding the microphones up in the air. Make sure you go to them, line up behind them, and you can have your question answered. I'm going to sit down with you guys for a little bit. I hate hogging this up. You guys are the guests. I'm not, but they make me do this sometimes. How you doing? What are you writing? Like, what are you writing?
Well, we have notes here, so I'm going to make...
You going to make notes?
Buddy, what's his name? Is bugging me.
Test your mics, make sure everything is all fine. Hi, Tricia.
Hello.
Hello,
That was
Michael.
loud.
Why aren't you in the break, God damn it?
Hello, lovely Kate.
It's working.
Hello, Mr. Hatch.
Hi, how you doing?
How you doing, brother?
So say we all.
All right, so say we all. Oh, you started it now. So say we all.
So say we all.
So say we all.
So say we all.
So say we all. Alrighty. I am privileged and honored to have each and every one of you guys here, but I'd also like to preface that with the fact that I have grown up with the original. I saw it from day one. I still remember the ads. How many people raised their hand remember the commercials for the upcoming Battlestar Galactica series back then? What was that, 1980, Richard? No, what year was that?
Do I have to tell the truth?
Yes, you do. Yes.
79, actually.
79? I was...
No, wait, 78, 79.
78, 79.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
5.
and you've aged gracefully.
I look good from a distance.
Well, you were fantastic as Apollo back then in the series from the 70s, and we'll really appreciate the mark that you left on us. But many of you guys, how many fans of the original are still here in the audience? Okay. And how many people did not get involved with Galactica until the newer series?
I go both ways.
Yeah, Richard Ash goes away. Well, let's start with the ladies, as precious as they are. Miss Vernon, how have that series changed anything in your life or in your career, if it did at all?
Wow. Hi everybody. This is, you're deep back there. This is amazing. Hi. It was such an amazing journey for me to be on Battlestar, because I was only supposed to do 2 or 3 episodes. So the fact that I carried on and continued on with the show and then circled to be the 5th Cylon was an incredible journey for me. And that the show has, it's always been iconic, but that our show is as well iconic, and to be a part of that, and then to be the 5th Cylon was more than, like everything I wanted, but more than I would ever dream of dreaming of. And so for me, it's like incredible to be a part of this. I mean, I'm a part of something that is quite fantastic and that is historical, and that I'm proud of on every level, and loved so much. It's very rare that we get to go to work and love everybody, and can't wait to read what the writers have written. A lot of times it's like, oh God, I have to say this. It's like not well written stuff, and this was delicious from the get-go. And the other really cool thing for me is fan interaction. The thing that brought to my life, that this show brought to my life, is you guys. It's not like we get to do this for regular television shows or regular movies, really. So it opened up a whole world of really getting to know the fans, which I'm just, I'm hugely appreciative of. So it's fun to be recognized as Ellen Tigh. I am very proud of it. I don't hide. And and I get to, come back to these conventions and reunite with everybody.
Well, I think when Battlestar came out, your series came out, I think it's probably the first time when I started setting my VCRs, without a doubt. But watching it while it was still on, but still had because I wanted to come back and revisit what I had seen previously, and it's been a long time since I've done that for any show. But getting back to the question of how it did to your life, I'm going to move on to Michael here. I think one of the things that struck me the most, well, not necessarily the most, but yeah, one of the things that struck me the most is your realization of who you actually were by hearing the music that we thought you were just losing your mind. I mean, you guys all remember the scene where he's hearing, do you hear that? Do you hear that? And we're like, oh God, he's cracking up. Don't make him a psycho in this
It's
movie.
in the ship. It's in the fracking ship. The original question about Battlestar Galactica, how it would have affected you. Who would have thunk that right at the beginning of shooting of that all of us would be here and we'd be having such a reaction to that line and numerous other lines. And the neat thing about it is, in talking to a lot of you people today, and even saying that line right now, and I know the rest of us up here, we get shivers and get goosebumps with a lot of the memories, and that line right there, it's in the ship, it's in the fracking ship. Would someone turn down that fracking music? The scenes that we had together, when we reminisce about it, you go, oh my God. There it is. It changed my life completely for the better. I was acting for 37 years and happily so before Battlestar Galactica came along. So it was not lost on me, the value of it and what a gift.
I felt so rejected. Seriously. I didn't hear the music.
You're not supposed to.
Really.
I think in all honesty, you know how some shows, the term that started in Happy Days with, you know, jump the shark. If you guys did not know, jump the shark was a term that happened in Happy Days, because Fonzie literally water skied over a freaking shark and jumped the shark can, and that's when they knew the series was going downhill. I have not seen any indication whatsoever from this series of them jumping in the shark. In fact, the longer they go on, we saw more and more and more and more and more quality-oriented scripts and storyline, and it was really freaking me out. I mean, I used to have a fro. Yeah, you know, but I ripped it out. But I want to know, before we get to the questions, and hopefully you're lined up out there in the audience. I can't really see you from here. Okay, I see one. It had to be a really interesting conversation amongst your cast and the writers, or you individually and the writers, when literally Michael and Kate, they said to you, guys, we came up with an idea. What was the reaction when they said, you're not who you think you are?
I was not happy. I thought it was a cheap shot, and I thought the idea of making Saul Tigh a Cylon was just a surprise factor. But Ron Moore came up and we talked about it in the long run. I'm very proud of the fact that they made Tigh a Cylon. I think it was a brilliant choice, because if he is not the oldest human being literally alive, he has certainly got the most battle. There's only 30,000 of us left, so he could be one of the oldest ones alive. He is the most human, the most loyal, such dignity, and very dangerous, because he fought the original Cylon. So if in fact he is on the other side, we're in trouble. It was a brilliant idea. Kate, how about you?
I agree. Well, I was dead when I found out that I was the 5th Cylon. I didn't just find out I was one of the Cylons. I was dead when I found out I was the 5th Cylon. And that was a brilliant, unbelievable, deeply emotional moment for me. I was trapped in traffic in Los Angeles on Sepulveda, going 0 miles per hour, and Ron Moore phoned me and said, you know, you're going to have to come back to work for us as the 5th Cylon. And I was furious with him because I thought he was fracking with me. And he said, no, you're coming. I'm like, stop it, this is horrible, this is torture. And he says, no, you're seriously coming back. And then it was like, you know, really? And I couldn't go anywhere. I'm stuck in traffic, and I had a good hour with him on the phone to talk about everything. And it was the most incredibly emotional 45 minutes to an hour that I had probably in my life. And yeah, he gave me the whole download, and then told me not to tell anybody.
We all knew. Seriously. We all knew, seriously.
And Kate, you honestly did not tell anyone, did you?
Well, no, I had to keep that secret for 2 years. But, 2 years. And, no, I said to Ron, I said, I am telling my mother, and I'm telling my agent. And he said, okay. But basically, no, I couldn't talk about it for 2 years.
Wow, that's incredible. Let's go on out to our fans. Alrighty, you have a question right there in the back?
Yeah, hi guys. So my question, you know, obviously had some great dialogue, some great writing on the show, but also was a physical component to Battlestar Galactica. And I'm wondering what scenes were either the most challenging or the most fun, or both. And this is for the entire panel.
You had some cool scenes with me.
Yeah, I got to punch you and kiss you and punch you again. And...
Two of them, actually.
Yeah, I remember that. Wow.
For me, I don't know. It's on my demo reel, just these two and me.
It's a long demo reel.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking in terms of like stunt fights and things like that, yeah, I luckily got to do some of it. I started out with kind of head six, I guess, Caprica 6, head six, and didn't think I'd get to do any of that, and I love doing that kind of stuff. So I think the first time I got to do it was the Arrow of Apollo museum scene with Starbuck. Yeah, and we had a lot of fun doing that. I remember one of the takes, there's breakaway statues, and they didn't tell us that they'd run out of breakaway statues. So I just chucked or kicked Starbuck into one. I didn't really kick her, but you know, you connect and push her really hard. And she hit the statue that wasn't breakaway. Yeah. So then she swiped me with the Arrow of Apollo, and I think it's the take they used because it just grazed my chin. Just missed it, and you see me going, whoop. But it took us about a day and a half to film, and it was a lot of fun. So of course I remember that one because that was the first one I got to do. Gosh, we did a lot of fighting, I think. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, that's all I can say.
You really kicked ass in that series, you know. I'm impressed. We have another question? Where are you, on this side? There you go. Hi.
Hey. So, Michael was talking about reminiscence and, you know, just the goosebumps that he gets from looking back. And obviously this was a special experience for each of you. This crowd and year after year, I mean, the passion shows that it's a rare experience. And my question is for each of you as actors, I mean, do you just sort of accept the fact that that's as good as it's going to get in terms of a special experience with a show? Not in your performances, but I mean, just in terms of being part of something like that. Or is it, I guess, like any relationship where, you know, you just remain hopeful that there's another one, maybe even better around the bend?
Well, you know, they're all different. And I remember specifically when we started, we were shooting the miniseries, Eddie said to us, you know, kids, I was considered, I guess, a kid at that time. It's been a long time. You know, this is something special. And it was my first series. I didn't have anything else to compare it to. But I knew it was special at the time, and the fact that it's still living on. New generations are discovering it. People are watching it for the first time. It was something special. That's not to say some other things coming along that we all do don't have a place in our heart or aren't special in another way. But this definitely, looking back now, having done some other things, this definitely is something that will be one of the top things in my life. Yes.
Well, let's segue that. Go all the way down to the end of the table to Richard. The original Battlestar, when it came out, I think it was, at that time, the most expensive special effects ever on television at that time. I think Dijkstra's company did all that kind of stuff.
So the acting was cheap. Is that what you're saying?
And no.
Great special
No, it was absolutely incredible because it was
okay.
almost immediately after the Star Wars era, when the Star Wars era was still going on when you guys came on, but pretty much that level of special effects we saw in Star Wars showed up in Battlestar. But in relationship to the question you just asked, did you see something special that was about to come out of all of this in the original series?
Well, you know, it's really funny because obviously it was on the heels of Star Wars and everybody was excited about space, and then everybody thought this was a ripoff of Star Wars, but truth was, they tried to pitch this before Star Wars came out, and you know, nobody was interested in sci-fi. So finally, after the success of Star Wars, they decided, yeah, let's put this out. And the thing was, we got cast at the last second. I mean, I got cast the same day, really, that they were filming. And I had to run over, jump into wardrobe, jump onto the set with the wrong lines, and basically, really, from that day one, there was like film crews from all over the world on the set. I've never seen anything so big. And actors, I gotta tell you, first days on a set, you feel like, I can't act. How am I gonna do this? Honestly, they're paying you all this money, and first days are terrifying for actors. So I was going, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And I couldn't, you know, I learned the wrong scene, and I had to learn it in 5 minutes while they put makeup on. But it was, from the get-go, we were working 18 hours a day, almost 7 days a week. And I know they took 7 days for the new Battlestar. For the original Battlestar, we got paid 3 times our salary, which is really good, because of all the overtime. It was 12 to 14 days of shooting per episode, because of this theatrical style script being shot the old-fashioned way. So we didn't really have time to think about it. We really didn't. And then eventually, you know, when it came out, it really did incredibly well. 65 million people, but I'm sure everybody can testify out here that, you know, networks really didn't understand sci-fi. They really didn't embrace sci-fi. They weren't comfortable with sci-fi. And from the day one, they were already cutting the budget back. And I think we ended at maybe around 29, 30 million an episode, which today would be like a #1 show. But now there's so many more networks and studios. But honestly, you know, just like Star Trek, everything seems to all of a sudden go out, syndication. And in this crazy television world that we live in, it takes time for people to find a show. And so it seems like when you have a good show, eventually we fans, and I am a fan, I love great sci-fi, you know, we find those shows we love and those characters that we love. And this show really kind of a one-year show, which I've never seen a one-year show go out and have the impact that this one-year show had. But I also want to add to what Tricia was talking about, is that, you know, I've been in this business, and I hate to say it, well, I shouldn't hate to say it, I'm actually proud of it, 50 years in this business. And, you know, we take things for granted, and I'm sure everybody gets up and talks about this show and how great it is, and, you know, but the truth is, it's rare to find a show like this. And unfortunately, we actors, we always want new territory, new characters to play, you know, new material. We're always searching for the next, you know, hill. And sometimes we don't realize what we've got until we lose it. And honestly, you know, getting on this show, this was one of the most extraordinarily well-written, produced, acted, and the crew, the cast, everybody on this show was just absolutely amazing. And I am sure many of the actors that were in a hurry, like, I want to play that next character, go on to that movie, but I'm sure many of them are looking back and realizing that this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and one that we will never forget. And I hate to say it. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, in fact, it was not a once-in-a-lifetime experience for you guys, because you guys are going to hit it big again. We'll see you. We're currently seeing you in other things, but I remember when this Battlestar came on, and I said, wow, this is gritty. I mean, right down to the opening scene, or one of the scenes where you see literally Starbucks sitting there with a cigar in her mouth, and she's at the poker table.